Hi, it's Cody 101 again, and I'm actually gonna share with you guys a story that was sent to me by a friend of mine on Facebook. His name was Dennis Hambridge, and this story was sent to him by his friend Christina Engla, and she's a member of South Africa GLAAD. Um, well, it's called "I Hugged a Man in His Underwear, and I Am Proud." Well, here it goes. I hugged a man in his underwear. I think Jesus would have too. I spent the day at Chicago's Pride Parade. Some friends and I, with the Marin Foundation, wore shirts with "I'm sorry" written on it. We had signs that said, "I'm sorry Christians judged you. I'm sorry for the way churches have treated you. I used to be a Bible banging homophobe. Sorry." We wanted to be an alternative Christian voice from protesters that were speaking hate into megaphones. What I loved most about the day is when people got it. I loved watching people's faces when they saw our shirts and read the signs and looked back at us, and responses were incredible. Some people blew us kisses, some hugged us, some screamed thank you. A couple of ladies walked up and said we were the best thing they had seen all day. I wish I had counted how many people hugged me. One guy in particular said, "Well, I forgive you." Watching people recognize our apology brought me to tears many times. It was reconciliation personified. My favorite, though, was a gentleman who was dancing on a float. He was dressed solely in white underwear and had a pack of abs like no one else. He was dancing on a float, and he noticed and jokingly yelled, "What are you sorry for? It's Pride." I pointed to our signs and watched him read them. Then it clicked. Then he got it. He stopped dancing. He looked at all of us standing there. A look of utter seriousness came across his face, and as the float passed us he jumped off and ran towards us. In all his sweaty, beautiful abs of steel, he hugged me and whispered, "Thank you." Before I had time to even let go, another guy ran up to me, kissed me on the cheek, and gave me the biggest bear hug ever. I almost had the wind knocked out of me. It was one of those hugs. This is why I do what I do. This is why I continue to do what I do. Reconciliation was personified. I think a lot of people would stop at the whole man in his underwear dancing part. That seemed to be the most controversial. It's what makes the evening news. It's the stereotype most people have in their minds about pride. Sadly, most Christians would run from such a sight, than even engage. Most Christians won't even learn if that person dancing in his underwear has a name. Well, he does have a name. His name is Tristan. However, I think Jesus would have hugged him too. That's exactly what I read throughout Scripture. Jesus hanging out with people that religious people would flee from. Correlation between then and now? I think so. Acceptance is one thing, reconciliation is another. Sure, at Pride, everyone is accepted, except perhaps the protesters. There are churches that say they accept all. There are businesses that say they accept everyone, but acceptance isn't enough. Reconciliation is. But there isn't always reconciliation. And when there isn't reconciliation, there isn't full acceptance. Reconciliation is more painful, it's more difficult. Reconciliation forces one to remember the wrongs committed and relive the constant pain. Yet it's more powerful and transformational because two parties that should not be together have every right to hate one another come together for the good of one another, for forgiveness, reconciliation, and unity. What I saw and experienced at Pride 2010 was the beginning of reconciliation. It was in the shocked faces of gay men and women who did not ever think Christians would apologize to them. What I saw and experienced at Pride 2010 was personification of reconciliation. It was in the hugs and kisses I received, in the thank yous and the waves, in the smiles and kisses blown. I hugged a man in his underwear. I hugged him tightly, and I am proud. Um, that story actually touched a number of my friends. I sent it to them myself, and I thought it would be something I'd share for the rest of the web. I don't know how many people Mr. Hambridge sent it to, but it's just one of those things that I thought I'd share with you guys. Not many things touched me, but this actually did. I actually almost cried reading it to you guys just now. I'm actually going to be posting a picture of the embrace. They actually have a picture of Mrs. Engla hugging Tristan. So I'm gonna post that in my um the description below. And I just hope you guys enjoyed that story, and I look forward to actually giving you more stories like that, or I don't know, just posting another video. I don't care if it has to be weird. My nose is shining. I just now noticed that. But I mean, I feel it's my duty to post that. I feel it's an obligation to Mr. Hambridge that I post this. And if any of you want the actual written copy, leave me a comment or send me a message or email me, and I can send you the actual print copy of this. So, and I actually sent back to him that this is actually the most inspirational thing I've read in a long time. So, Mr. Hambridge, if you see this, thank you. Thank you for sending me that. Thank you for sharing this. And if any of you have any stories similar to that and want them read aloud, I'd be more than happy to. I'd be more than happy just to read a happy ending, you know. Us in the LGBTQ community don't have many happy endings. I mean, you constantly hear about stories like Matthew Shepard getting beat up and just for the fact of being gay. Even Larry King, who is in more recent history. Um, I know it's kind of cheesy for me to say this, but I really want to share some positive news with you guys. Um, I know it's sad, but I'm tired of the sad news and everyone beating up on us. So please, if you have good news, go ahead and send it. Thank you. You've all been great. If you've watched me for the 9.5 minutes already, so thank you. Bye.